Winston? Winston? Come back with that leg of lamb.
It's Wimbledon tennis finals this weekend, and everybody in the UK and some around the world will be tuned into the TVs watching the finals this weekend, and everyone will be eating strawberries and cream. I remember when I was a young chef at the Savoy Hotel in London, and I prepared the Wimbledon Champions Dinner. John McEnroe had just defeated Bjorn Borg for the men's title. And this was a tournament where he shouted out, "You cannot be serious!" Chris Evert-Lloyd won the women's title, and I didn't get to meet either of them. I did see them, but one thing I do know, they ate good. So I'm going to start off by hulling the strawberries, and that's taking that little green part out. If you want to, you can slice straight across the top. It's only a tiny bit, you don't lose it all. Strawberries are cheap at the moment, and it takes forever to go in there and just like around everyone like that, see? I've always been a fan of Wimbledon, especially when I worked with the royal family. We used to get free tickets too. Princess Diana was a big fan as well. She'd love to go to Wimbledon. We used to take my son Harry to Wimbledon as well. Not me and Princess Diana, me and my wife Wendy would take Harry. My son Harry, not Prince Harry. Anyway, once I've hulled all of the strawberries, the next thing I'm going to do is actually cut them in half. Of course, if they're a little bit too big, like this one, then they'll go into 4. Once I've done that, I'm going to put some sugar over the top of them and just toss them all together. And this is called macerating the berries. And by adding that sugar in there, it not only makes them sweet, but it actually leaches out a lot of the juices too, which will go into the bottom of the bowl. And then when they're mixed with the cream, it tastes absolutely gorgeous. Wimbledon's famous for strawberries and cream. They've been served there since 1877. This year alone, 38 tons of strawberries will have been served over that Wimbledon fortnight. Strawberries for Wimbledon come from one farm in Kent, and they're picked at 4 a.m. every morning, just so that they're fresh for everyone that's attending the tournament. Last year alone, there were 2.25 million strawberries picked. I don't know who counts them all, but that's the statistics. And then sprinkle on the sugar. You can put a little vanilla in there as well if you want to. I'm going to leave those for about 15 minutes or so while I make my shortcake. I'm doing a strawberry shortcake. To go with my Wimbledon strawberries and cream, I'm making some little shortcake cookies, biscuits. Yeah, biscuits. I think that the texture, having these little strawberry shortcake, the mopping up all those juices and the cream, this is going to taste delicious. And the recipe is really easy to make. You just put all the ingredients into the food processor, give it a couple of whizzes, bring it together and roll it out. Now, a lot of people will say, well, are they scones? No, they're not scones. They're different to scones. The recipe's different. If you want to see the real scone recipe, the one I cooked at the palace, then check out one of my earlier videos where I'm making the royal tea scones. For the shortcakes, I'm going to start off adding some flour, and then some sugar, baking powder, pinch of salt, some butter, just at room temperature, and just a splash of almond extract. Put the lid on and pulse it just for a few minutes. I want it all to come together, but not in the machine. If it all comes together in the machine, the mix tightens up. So I just want it just to be crumbly so I can put it in the bowl and then just mix it together, bring it together. Once I've got nice, fine, sandy crumbs, then I can add the cream. And now it'll start coming together. You can tip the dough into a bowl. And then bring this mix together. Don't work it too much because we want it nice and light. Once I've got the dough all together, I'm going to put a little flour on the board and then roll it out about 1/2 inch thick. If you don't have a rolling pin, you don't want to do this stage, you can just push it down with your hands. And I'm going to cut mine into circles. It just makes it look pretty. You don't have to do circles either. You can cut it into any shape you want. Little squares if you want to. The circles do look pretty. And I usually get about 8 from this. Next, I've got some egg, and I'm just going to brush the tops. It'll make them look really pretty when they come out of the oven. They'll go into the oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, for about 8 to 12 minutes, depending on your oven. And they should come out nice and golden. Once they come out of the oven, you need to leave them on the tray to cool down. It's no good moving them onto a cooling wire because they'll just completely fall apart. There's no egg in here to hold them together. So just leave them as they are until they're completely cold. Once my shortcakes have cooled, then I can put the strawberries and all this beautiful macerated juices into the bowl. Strawberries and cream became popular, I think, at Wimbledon because King George V loved having strawberries and cream while I was watching Wimbledon. But it goes back further than that. You know, talking of kings, King Henry VIII is rumoured to have loved having strawberries and cream while he was watching the tennis at Hampton Court in 1509. Yikes. So, my macerated strawberries are in there, and already on their own, they just look gorgeous. Just before your guests arrive, you can then pour on the cream. The cream soaks right down into the berries and those juices at the bottom. If you don't like the shortcake to get really soggy, you can actually place it on a plate at the side of the strawberries, but I want to lay them along the top. They just look so pretty. And then, just to finish them off, I've taken some sugar and some green food colour, and I'll just sprinkle that over the top. Because it's lawn tennis, right? The grass is green. Wimbledon strawberries and cream with some beautiful little shortcakes to mop up all that cream and those strawberry juices. Absolutely delicious. I hope you make this at home for your Wimbledon watching finals. And if not, just make it during the summer. It really is a delicious treat. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up. We'll see you again soon. Oh, it smells so fresh, those strawberries.